What's going on, YouTube? I know it's been a minute since the last time I uploaded content on this channel, and a lot of you guys have been reaching out to me over the years and have been dying to know when I was gonna upload some more videos. So, here you go. I'm coming out of retirement. You got me. You do not have to worry, because I have a banger for you today.
Sensational.
Now, I probably don't have to say too much, as you can probably tell what's about to go down, but it's been about 5 years since the last time I built a PC.
Damn.
So I said, you know what? If we are going to be building a PC, then we must build the most powerfulest PC known to mankind. Or get as close as we possibly can. It's go big or go home, baby. If you want to be the best, you got to build the best. And if you want to build the big dog build, you got to be able to play with the big dogs. Okay, so first up is we have the PC case. Now this is going to be the central hub for all of the PC parts that we're getting ready to put inside of it. Now this particular case is actually called the ROG Hyperion GR701. Now, this isn't my usual case that I usually go for. I usually go for a more sleek, compact design, but this time I wanted to go for something more edgy, something that can really display the power that we're getting ready to install inside of this beast of a case. Okay, so next up is we have the CPU. Now, this is probably the most important part in our build. I ended up going for the AMD Ryzen 9 9950X3D. I was actually torn between this and the AMD 7 9800X3D. They're essentially the same card. The only difference is this one is multi-threaded processing versus the single-threaded processing in the 9800X3D. You know, particularly for my line of work, you know, I do music, I stream, I play games, so it just made more sense for me to go for this card, but either one of those cards would have been fine in this build. Okay, so here we have is the GPU. Now this particularly is my favorite part of the build. This is what's going to allow us to achieve the highest frame rates possible, especially when we're trying to game in 4K. This particular card is called the ROG Astro 5090 RTX OC edition. Now I was gonna get the liquid cool edition. However, I ended up looking at a lot of reviews from people who have had that card in the past, and a lot of them have said they ran into issues with the pump leakage. And once the pump is done, pretty much the graphics card is done. So I ended up going for the air cooled edition. Honestly, it really doesn't matter. It really just comes down to preference. Okay, next up is the motherboard. And here we have is the ROG Crosshair X870E Hero. There's nothing too crazy about this motherboard besides the advanced AI PC capabilities. However, we were able to compromise on this motherboard simply because there's not a lot of features offered in high-end motherboards that are necessary when it comes to building a PC. So we were able to keep it close to the AMD build. It only makes sense if we're going to use an AMD CPU, then we got to use an AMD motherboard. Okay, now this one is special. This is the ROG Ryo 4 SLC 360 ARGB. Now you're probably wondering, what the hell is that? Well, I'll tell you. This is a CPU cooler with a OLED curved display. Huh? Pretty cool, right? Now this was really hard for me to get my hands on this. Pretty much it was sold out everywhere. Luckily I was able to find a third-party seller that had one of them left in inventory. So I'm pretty excited that I was able to get my hands on this bad boy. All right, next up is the power supply. Nothing too crazy about a power supply. It provides power to the PC. We actually did end up having to switch it up on this build by upping the wattage, just because a lot of these parts in this build are really demanding when it comes to energy. So we ended up going with the ROG 1200 watt Platinum 3. There's not a lot of power supplies that are RGB that have this much wattage that are in a reasonable price range. So we ended up settling for this. Nothing too crazy. Power supply is a power supply. Okay, now unfortunately, all of the fans that come pre-installed inside the Hyperion case do not have RGB, so we will be replacing them with Lian Li RGB fans. Now, I like these fans particularly because they each have LCD screens on them that can pretty much display CPU temps, GIFs, pretty much anything you want on them, so I thought that would be cool to keep up the consistency with the build we're going for. Here we have 96 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM from the brand Trident. This model particularly is called the Z5 Neo RGB. We ended up going with the 96 gigabyte version over the 128 gigabyte version, simply because the 128 gigabyte version does not play nice with the parts that we have in this build. So we had to compromise and settle down for the 96 gigabyte version, but you know, 96 gigabytes is more than enough, so we're not complaining. Okay, last but certainly not least, the SSD. I really don't have to explain too much what a SSD is. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what it is. So yeah, but this is pretty much industry standard when it comes to SSDs. We actually do have another one of these cards in the mail that just arrived yesterday. I have not unboxed it yet, but I will be putting 2 of these in this build. So we will be going for 16 terabytes instead of 8 terabytes. We will have 2 8 terabyte cards inside of this build. Okay, so we pretty much went through every single PC part. It's about time for the main event, so let's put all the pieces together and let's start building. Okay, it's the moment of truth. It's time to see if all of our hard work paid off. Let's get it. Let's go. Oh my gosh, she looks gorgeous. This is a big dog build right here. This is a big dog build. Okay, we have completed this build and I must say it has exceeded all of my expectations. I did not think it was gonna turn out this great, but oh my God. I mean, look at her. Like, God damn. But I will say it was a struggle in the beginning just because I haven't had a lot of experiences with these type of cases. And it was kind of hard to wrap my brain around it at first, but we locked in and we figured it out. So that's all that matters. A win's a win, God damn it. A win's a win and I'll take it. But I appreciate you guys for sticking it out with me and watching me maneuver through it. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Also, I would love to hear what kind of builds you guys are working on or what kind of builds you guys are working towards this year. I'm always in the comments lurking, so please feel free to leave a comment and I'll definitely check that out when I get a chance. Also, I know I haven't been as active as I want to on this channel. So this year I told myself I am locking in and I am prioritizing YouTube and Twitch. So a lot more content on the way. We're definitely gonna go up. I thought it would be kind of awesome to kind of start the year off right and get you guys a new PC build video. So like I said, I appreciate you guys for tuning in and thank you so much for your support over the years. We got a lot more bangers on the way, a lot more videos on the way, a lot more music on the way, a lot more gaming, a lot more streams on the way. You know, 2026, I'm super excited. I'm super excited. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Happy New Year's and check you on the next one.